When there are big deals on paper, there are often usually lots of backroom deals too. And if Aurora is the default servicer in this pool and there's hundreds and hundreds of loans at play, it may be that certain entities want to get their hands on a certain amount of the pie. And so, what we find is that there's very often a servicer for current loans, and then there's a default servicer.
Okay.
And so there is a different servicer that gets to come into play for the loans in default. And I bet you that those servicers like to make sure that they get a certain amount of every pool. There are certain expectations that these repeat players have, and these expectations are based around who's going to lose their home, and who's going to default. And so it is a mechanism of turning mortgages into paper, but then you got to turn them back into houses.
Yeah.
You know, and that house has to move and be sold on an auction block. So the paper isn't any good unless there's a foreclosure at the end of the day, or there's a modification. Well, the way the system is set up right now, it's set up to foreclose, not to mod. The system is set up to foreclose on the homes, not to service the loans now.
The servicer, the sponsor, and the depositor. And then Deutsche Bank is over here as the trustee, and then they preside over the trust.
Right.
And this is the pool.
Right.
So they buy all of these loans and they put them in the pool, and then Deutsche Bank is the trustee, and the trustee is responsible for administering this pool for the benefit of the investors, that they each buy a certificate that entitles them to a dividend from these mortgages. So the pooling and servicing agreement is going to say that entities 1, 2, and 3 have this responsibility to sell it to Deutsche, and then Deutsche has fiduciary duties regarding these pools, and then somewhere in here is the servicer.
So Indy Bank here started out as the servicer, maybe bought the loan from elsewhere, became a sponsor when they created this pool, sold it to an investor that has appointed Deutsche Bank as the trustee of this pool. And now in that situation, will the servicer usually change to a certain servicer that is appointed by the pooling and servicing agreement? What if somebody calls that servicer, whose loan is now in this pool, and wants a loan modification?
So the servicer has to talk to Deutsche Bank, and they have to arrange, because the servicer has limited authority in the pooling and servicing agreement. So in order for the servicer to get a mortgage back out of here so that they can modify it.
They can't modify it while it's in the pool.
Yeah.
For the benefit of the beneficiary, the servicer needs permission from the trustee.